Buying a home is a complex financial transaction involving lenders, attorneys, inspectors, and legal deadlines. If you enter this process blindly, you risk losing your deposit, waiving your rights, overpaying for a property, or worse, even death. I'm Justin Braithwaite, a real estate broker with over 10 years of experience, and in this video, I'm going to walk you through the 15 steps of buying a home. For each step, I'll share pro tips and the biggest mistakes so you can avoid them. And by the end of this guide, you'll know exactly what to expect at every stage so you can move forward with clarity and confidence. Let's get right into it. Step number 1, find the real estate agent. A professional real estate agent is legally bound to protect your interests, not the seller's. This isn't a salesperson. This is your legal advisor and negotiator. But how do you find one who's a true expert? Well, here are the pro tips. Interview at least 3 agents. Check Zillow to see how many transactions they've closed in the past year. Between 10 and 20 is a sweet spot. Enough that they have experience, but not too many so they can provide personal attention. You also want to see whether they've represented more buyers or sellers. You can also see this on Zillow. Certain agents specialize in working with sellers and certain ones specialize with buyers. Also, avoid teams. The team leader will sell you and then you'll work with a junior agent. And finally, still on Zillow, check to see where their sales are on the map. You want to have an agent who has experience and knowledge in the neighborhoods that you're targeting. The rookie mistake is to avoid picking the first agent you meet, or even worse, using the seller's agent, which is called dual agency, thinking it will save you money. The seller's agent works for the seller's best interest, not yours. Step number 2, get lender referrals. A trusted mortgage lender can close your loan on time at a fair price. The wrong lender can cause delays and an incredible amount of frustration. A low rate is only half of what to consider. Here's how to shop like a pro. First, on the same day, call 3 lenders. Ask your agent and homeowners you know for their recommendations. Give all 3 lenders the exact same hypothetical scenario, for example, a $400,000 home with 10% down and $4,000 in taxes, so you can compare their quotes fairly. Then ask each lender for a loan estimate or an itemized fee worksheet. Compare the origination charges on page 2, section A, with the interest rate on page 1 to get a full picture of the cost of your loan. Avoid the rookie mistake of being afraid to shop. Many buyers worry that multiple credit pulls will hurt their score, but that's not true. All mortgage-related inquiries within a 45-day window are grouped together and count as one single inquiry. Step number 3, get pre-approved. This step is where you'll have a lender verify your finances and give you a pre-approval letter. This turns you from a shopper into a serious buyer. Here are the tips. First, season your down payment money. Lenders need to see funds sitting in your account for at least 2 bank statement cycles. Any deposits within that time will trigger additional documentation where you'll have to prove the source of funds, and it could potentially delay your loan. And second, if your parents or relatives are helping with your down payment, ask your lender for a gift letter, which is a simple form where the giver signs that the money is a gift, not a loan. And third, remember your pre-approval is a ceiling, not your budget. The bank will approve you for the maximum you can afford, so be sure to look at the monthly payment, then set your actual budget somewhere below that where you know you can live comfortably. The most common rookie mistake to avoid is making big purchases after getting pre-approved. Don't buy a car, don't open new credit cards, don't even finance furniture. This will delay your loan and reduce the amount you qualify for at the last minute when your lender checks your credit before closing. Step number 4, define your needs versus wants. Create a clear, focused list of your must-haves and your nice-to-haves. This list saves you time and prevents you from falling for a perfect house that doesn't actually fit your life. Here's how to build one that actually works. Start with location first, feature second. You can't find the right house until you've defined the right area. Before you even think about kitchens, decide on your target neighborhoods or school districts. This is the number 1 item on your list. If you're buying with a partner, each of you should separately write down your top 3 must-haves and top 3 absolute deal breakers. Then compare your lists. The items that match are your core priorities. The items that don't are your main topics for a compromise before you start looking. The rookie mistake is to avoid chasing a perfect house that doesn't exist and missing out on a great house that has 80% of what you want. This wastes a lot of time and causes untold frustration. Step number 5, start house hunting. Here's where you use your checklist to evaluate homes by touring in person. The first pro tip here is to make sure to take notes, photos, or videos during each showing because all the houses will blur together. You also need to look past the staging. Focus on the bones, meaning the layout, natural light, and the home's condition. And once you have a final list, visit those homes at different times of day to check traffic, noise, and light. Avoid the mistake of falling in love with the seller's style, like their furniture or their paint colors. You're buying their house, not their lifestyle. Step number 6, make a competitive offer. Write an offer that's both attractive to the seller and protects you. It's not just about the price. Here's how to use other terms to make your offer stand out. Don't base your offer on the asking price. Have your agent pull comparable rental sales and base your offer on those and the time the house has been on the market. Based on this, it may make sense to offer much less or much more than the asking price. Second pro tip, ask your agent to call the seller's agent and ask, what's most important to the seller besides price? They might need a fast close, or they might need a 60-day rent back where you let them rent the house after you close. Knowing and solving their problems makes your offer far more attractive than the competition. And bonus pro tip, have your lender call the seller's agent to personally vouch for you. A 2-minute call where your lender says that you're fully approved, your file is rock solid, and you can close in 21 days is much more powerful than just a pre-approval letter. The rookie mistake to avoid is lowballing. Base your offer on the comps, which indicates the value. Don't lowball, as you may upset the seller and make your negotiation more difficult. Step number 7, negotiate and go under contract. Your aim is to get a signed, legally binding contract from the seller. Here are the pro tips. Earnest money can be used to make your offer stronger. Ask your agent the amount that's standard in your market, as this varies throughout the country. The trade-off with a higher earnest money deposit is that it weakens your hand a bit when negotiating for repairs or credits. We'll get to that in step number 9. The mistake to avoid is getting emotional during bidding. Always have your top number in mind based on the comparables your agent showed you in step number 6. Do not let your emotions sweep you away and go beyond that. Step number 8, schedule the home inspection. Hire a professional to identify problems during your due diligence period. Never skip the inspection to win the house. Also, you should attend the inspection and ask questions. The inspector will walk you through the property and show you the main issues in person. The rookie mistake is using the inspector your agent recommends. Get recommendations from other contacts who have bought homes in the past to ensure that your inspector's interests are 100% aligned with yours. Step number 9, negotiate repairs or credits. Use the inspection report to get the seller to either fix major issues or pay you to fix them. Pro tip, focus on the big ticket items: roof, HVAC, electrical, plumbing, and the foundation. You can ask the seller to fix items or ask for a credit at closing so you can fix them yourself after you move in. The big mistake to avoid is sweating the small stuff. Focus on the major safety and system issues and get cost estimates. Some things may look serious on the report, but don't cost a lot. Step number 10, the appraisal. The lender's independent appraisal confirms the home is worth what you're paying. Pro tip, when the appraisal value is lower than your contract price, you have 3 paths, and your agent will advise you on these. First, the seller lowers the contract price to the appraised value. This is the best case scenario for you. Second, you meet in the middle. In other words, the seller lowers the price halfway, and you agree to bring the difference to closing to cover the gap. Third, you walk away. If the seller refuses to budge, your appraisal contingency allows you to walk away from the deal and get your earnest money back. Step number 11, secure final loan approval. In this step, you get the clear to close from your lender. Pro tips, respond to your lender's requests immediately. Submit complete documents, including all pages front and back of bank statements. The rookie mistake is to avoid changing jobs, making large deposits, or taking out new loans, leases, or credit cards. Do not do anything until you have the keys. Step number 12, shop for homeowners insurance. Now it's time to get an insurance policy that protects your new home. Your lender requires it before you can close. Pro tip, You can bundle it with your car insurance for a potential discount. Be sure to ask your insurance agent about replacement cost, which is good, versus actual cash value. And avoid the mistake of just picking the cheapest plan. Find an agent who you trust to walk you through your coverage options and get their recommendations. Then make sure that you get multiple quotes and you're comparing apples to apples. Step number 13, review your closing disclosure. Review your closing disclosure to make sure it's 100% correct. You're required to receive this 3 days before closing by law. This is your last chance to catch costly errors. Here's what to look for. Your loan terms, meaning rate and loan amount, on page 1 of the CD should be identical to the loan estimate you received in step 2. If they're not, call your lender to have it corrected. Next, go to page 2 and check sections A and B to make sure these are also the same as the loan estimate. They cannot legally be higher than they were. Make sure the lender fixes any discrepancies prior to closing. The rookie mistake is not reading it in detail and comparing it to your loan estimate. If you see a fee that you don't understand, ask your lender right away. Don't wait until the closing table. Step number 14, the final walkthrough. When you do your final walkthrough, the house must be in the same condition as when you signed the contract. Here's how to do the walkthrough right. First, schedule it to take place within 24 hours before closing. Check that all agreed upon repairs were completed, and make sure everything has been removed from inside and outside the house, and check all lights, outlets, faucets, and underneath the sinks for leaks. The mistake to avoid is skipping it. If you find a problem after you close, it's now your problem. Step number 15, closing day. Closing day is when you'll sign the final legal documents, transfer the money, and officially get the keys to your new home. This is the finish line. You'll sign your name until your hand hurts. Pro tip, make sure that you have available funds in your account for your bank check or wire transfer. On the day of, bring your photo ID and the physical bank check or wire transfer receipt to the closing. The biggest mistake here is to be afraid to ask questions. You're signing legal documents for the biggest purchase of your life. If you don't know what something means, ask the attorney or closing agent. Wow, you just absorbed a massive amount of information, and honestly, you now know more than 90% of the people walking into open houses this weekend. You aren't just guessing anymore, you have a professional game plan. This is an exciting time. You're about to start the next chapter of your life, and owning a home is one of the most rewarding things you'll ever do. You can now walk into this process with total confidence, knowing that you're protected. Now, you don't need to memorize all 15 steps right now. I put this entire guide into a free printable PDF checklist for you. Just shoot me an email. My email is in the description below with the subject line checklist, and I'll send it right over so you can have it handy to reference as you go about your journey. If you found this video helpful, be sure to subscribe. I release new videos designed to help first-time homebuyers every Friday at 5 p.m. Leave any questions in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.